My name is Arterburn, but before I begin this presentation, let me show you my audience. Alright, let's begin. My presentation is on artificial intelligence. Alright, close your eyes for a minute. Think of a math class you're taking right now or have taken in your past. Imagine that instead of using modern tools, all you have is an ink bottle, a pen, a piece of paper. That's all that you need, and that's all that they had back then. Your whole environment is changing. You're back in the 19th century in an old schoolhouse. You're in a room with a couple of students and the teacher. No technology. You can only use the stuff that you have in the classroom that you see here. I want you to keep picturing this throughout the rest of the presentation. You can open your eyes. Alright, before I get in depth with it, let me show you a quick statistic. This is from the Pew Research. Majority of high school students use generative AI for schoolwork. We can see that from January to May 2025, the percentage of high school students who reported using Gen AI tools for schoolwork is growing, increasing from 79% to 84%. And this is important because my goals with this presentation is to show that artificial intelligence has a negative impact on students. Therefore, it should be banned from classrooms altogether. And the importance of this and my goal for you guys to understand, the listener, is that while AI tools may be enticing for students to use, the neurological and practical effects can be dangerous. So, these are going to be my main points. The first point is going to be the misleading benefits that AI has on students. And then after that, we're going to dive into the true effects that AI has. And lastly, we're going to go into the societal issues that can stem from the use of AI. Alright, the first one. The misleading benefits of AI use for students. In teen and young adult perspectives on generative AI patterns of use, students who use AI report three major factors that they use it for. The first being research, with 53% of students who use AI in school using it for research. 51% of them use it for brainstorming, and 46% use it for schoolwork. Now, this seems like a good and useful tool because it allows you to finish work quicker, and it allows you to get tasks done that normally would take a lot longer in a very short amount of time. Now, here's the main issue with though. These are all the issues. So for research, when you use AI for research, it removes the task and learning experience of searching for information yourself through websites, books, or articles. So in the future, you may not be able to do it if you use AI. You may lose that skill. For brainstorming, it removes the brain's natural brainstorming capabilities and lowers problem-solving mechanics and abilities. And for schoolwork, it removes the entire point of schoolwork and homework altogether, which is to reinforce the topics learned in school. And without the use of homework or schoolwork, you are less likely to add the information in long-term memory and to be able to use it in the future. So, let's dive in. After seeing the issues, let's see the true effects that it has. So, in a Turkish student study done by Jill Barse, we see that students who used ChatGPT solved 48% more of the practice problems that they were given correctly, but when they compared it to students who didn't use AI, they ultimately scored 17% worse on a test of the topic the students were learning. And then in the same study, they did an alternate version where the students who used AI did spectacularly better on practice problems, solving 127% more of them correctly compared to students who did practice work without any high-tech aids. So the students who used ChatGPT used it to generate practice problems and used it to generate study guides. But it showed afterwards that these AI-tutored students did no better, and that the students who just did their regular practice problems the old-fashioned way ended up matching their test scores. So it proves that, it proves that AI either just works as well as the traditional study method, or it ends up letting students do worse on the test when it should be helping them. So, let's go back to the images that we saw before. Remember that picture that you made in your head. The education that they used back then worked, and it worked fantastically. We wouldn't have the advanced society that we have today without the earliest times in education. Now, I won't argue that change and development isn't going to be necessary and isn't going to come along the way. We've had centuries of development, just as we can see from these two pictures alone. But I believe that we went too far in this development with the use of AI in schools. And we've lost the traditional methods that allowed us to reach this in the first place. causing us to become brain dead students and brain dead learners, which can ultimately affect us worse in society. So, through the use of AI, our brains become weaker, and if we stop using AI in schools, our brains won't continue to grow weaker and trend in the wrong direction. However, if we allow it to keep growing in usage in schools, then we can lose all of the advancements and development that we used over the years, effectively causing us to implode on ourselves. This means no more innovation, and no more growth, and no more change. Alright, let's close it out. So my request to you is that after this presentation is over, think how you use AI in your daily life. Do you notice that you're less proficient in a certain skill or in learning new skills? Or are you slower to grasp new information after using AI? It causes your brain to have to think less. That's the term artificial AI. Lastly, now that you've learned the effects that AI can have on you, tell others about it. That way we won't have a brain dead generation who forgot how to think. Thank you.